We're back. And this time, hopefully, it works. The problem we're going to run into is I won't be able to see. Also, it's a fucking. I hate hearing the audio through it. So let me go to monitor off. There we go. There we go. Gamer. Finally. Let me try to get this a bit bigger on that side. A little bit down right there. Let's let's get this open up. Okay. Dude, are you freaking kidding me? I'm gonna blow my brains out, bro. Just go to my channel. Go to my channel. There we go. There, how you doing, mine, bro? Sorry, my audio went out. I don't know why. Because it was working at the beginning of the stream, and then it just cut off. Is it still good now? Are we like A-okay? Everything goated? Excuse me. Good lord. Okay, so long since I have work in the morning. But hey, how you doing, Crystal? Can you hear me? I had the mic crash out on me a bit ago. I'm gonna make a new Scarlet account. Because it was working at the beginning of my stream. But how are you? I'm getting back into playing Pokemon. I was gonna download Arceus, and I didn't for some reason. I went with Scarlet because I'm like, oh, I haven't played Scarlet barely, and I'm regretting it because I can't really see my game too well. And yeah, Arceus would have been better because I'm dual streaming. I only have one thing, so I don't know. It's fucked up. It's annoying because I can't yeah, I turned off the game sound, I think. Did I? There we go. Yeah, I was getting kind of annoyed with that music. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I'm getting back to playing Pokemon so I can be ready for Legends EA. So I can get ready for Legends EA. I have like a slight delay. I need a TV. I need a TV because I gave one of my friends a couple monitors that I used to have. Like, I used to have monitors on the wall and whatnot. And then I stopped talking to him, and I don't have those monitors anymore. So I need a new monitor, and I can't get him back because I'm just kind of like over him. So I'm like, you know what, fuck this guy. So I'm kind of screwed because I need a TV because I can't play. Because how it works, getting the algorithm, and then one to get to like a normal higher quality live stream, and but it makes it so you can only see one fucking screen. Or you can only see two screens. You can't see one screen. And I play from Streamlabs because it's hooked up directly to my computer through my capture card. So it's all messed up. It's all messed up. Right now I'm playing without sound. I don't like playing Pokemon with sound. It's kind of horrible. Because it gets annoying after a while. But what is it? So it's very hard to see. Okay, there we go. If that makes sense. I have to get another TV to be able to play. And see the game fully. So I'm having a brain fart. I'm all over the place right now. I'm tired. English. So essentially, I'll be that dude. I'm gonna have to turn on this volume. I fucking hate this. Crispy. Dude, this is loud as hell. It's kind of annoying me. Yeah, I'm fine with this hairstyle. I didn't Shiny Giratina. It's been a long time. How you been? How you been? We good to go? That was fucking weird. Okay. Man, I want to. I definitely want to. I think if the game is really good, and I can get like donations during the time playing it, I might get 2 copies. Because Crystal's gonna donate so I can get one of them. They're gonna buy it for me, and then if I get enough through donations through the weeks of playing it, I'll buy another copy. That's if they have dual, if they have like soft resets. This is so loud. I have to fix this volume. Let's have still staying. Sorry to hear that. Glad you're still staying though. Okay, see you later, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Say hi. I'm glad you're doing good for the most part. Yeah, if online I can help you with some shiny hunting Crimbo. I actually don't. So here's the thing. I canceled my online because I didn't think I was gonna get Pokemon, and it goes out on like at the 20th. But I have, I think, a 3-month subscription. And the reason why I canceled my online is the fact that I would have to get the Switch 2 to be able to play Fire and Bloom. And I was like Path of Radiance and Coliseum, I think, and that made me so angry that when I'm not buying online again. But I have a 3-month gift card I haven't used. I got like 2 years ago. And you can't use a gift card until your current thing's up and done with. Dude, this is so dumb. I hate how slow openings are for games. I don't care. I can't turn on the volume either, so it's really loud in my ear right now. Pissing me off. I wish if I had, I'll play this. If I had someone that would fund $60 a month, I would be able to get a Switch 2 because I could do a payment plan. Whoa, that's cool. Or if I had someone send me $200, I think $250 or $300, I could get a Switch 2 because I'll be able to pay off my credit. But I don't have that following anymore, so I could do something like that and work on it. So right now I'm just gonna stick with the Switch one and its crappy fucking optimization of these games. Yeah, so it's just snag it. Yeah, I gotta make a donation goal. I'm not doing it today because this is just a test run, and no one's gonna donate, which is fine. But the big thing is that I hope the shiny hunting's good in the game. First week, I will be able to. It depends. It could be even more than that. But if I get a good shiny comp in the first week, I can get my partnership back with you. Like a watch time of like I think 1,000 hours. And a comp video that's, like 20, 30 minutes to an hour long can get me there if it's good enough. So that's why I gotta check that out. Do you know what's kind of weird? Is like that Mr. Beast did the whole thing where you could use AI generated thumbnails, and then people are like, oh, but what about the artist? Which I get, but at the same time, it's like, wouldn't you as an artist want to work on something else that's for your soul rather than that? I don't know. Like, to me, as a person that's not make thumbnails for, they can make it for people to make money. It just frustrates me. He's like, me, I don't got money to pay people to make thumbnails. How you doing, Brian? How you been, buddy? I'm gonna tell you right now, Brian, this is gonna be crazy. Breaking news. I have a hemorrhoid right now and it hurts. I'm not even joking, it's horrible. One second. I'm trying to turn off the audio because I hate the audio in these games. There's almost no reason to have audio in this Pokemon game. There's no shiny sparkles, right? Sound effects when you walk past them. Mr. Beast did pay well. I still like it, kind of sad. Did I read that right? Mr. Beast did pay well. I'm not sure what it means by that. If you're talking about like he pays ours or something, I don't know. But the reason why I like the AI generated thumbnails is someone like me that's retarded. I can't do it, dude. I can't like make thumbnails, and that would have saved my life. Yeah, no, he does. I'm pretty sure he does that now. You're Hemorrhoid Bros. Let's go. You're Hemorrhoid Bros. Let's go. Because my big problem right now I'm gonna run to is I don't have after like having the whole cancer and everything and not having a job. I don't have money to pay people to make a thumbnail for me, and my shit's all fucked up right now. So I so when the new game comes out and I get Shiny Comp, I have to figure out how to do that. Yeah, no, I have that. Because also I was eating really healthy and I was doing really good, and I got mega depressed. I got mega depressed, and I started eating like shit again, and I'm gonna fix it. I was supposed to fix it 2 days ago, but then I got too busy, and I was trying to get the stream, and I got really angsty, and I didn't have time to do anything. But soon I'll be back on my complete grind after tomorrow because they have buy two get two free chicken, and I'm about to load up like probably 30 of those in my freezer and have one every single day, like big pack of chicken breasts. You got peeps willing to make you things right. Yeah, that's true, but at the same time, I don't like asking people because I can't give back to people like they could give back to me. So I don't like asking people for stuff. Me who's made thumbnails. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, me who makes thumbnails. Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you mean, man. And you're like with your very talented skills. No, shut up, man. Someone got to pay me to make these thumbnails. Fuck the AI. Fuck the AI. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, yeah, I was playing Pokemon. I think making thumbnails is fun. Yeah, I just can't. I just can't do it. Oh shit! I have to go vegetable garden. What's going on? I'm not even paying attention. I'm reading chat. Brian has made me, I think, the best thumbnails I've ever had. He was always the go at making thumbnails. He has like the most powerful skills at that. Oh, there we go. Watch the stream and see you work on the stream. That's true. That's true. To be fair, that's true. But I don't know. I just always feel bad. I'm not talented. You take that back. You take that back, motherfucker. Yeah, also, thanks for saying the background's nice. I want to get it better, but it's hard because the camera can only, like, right now I'm using my older camera that doesn't have as good clarity, so you can't see as, it's kind of blurry. But and I don't really have the lights up right, but I've been working on that. I have to add a lot more. I have a lot I want to do in this room. This is my streaming room now, but it's really hard. Is my freshness doing its best to creep it? Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, mine was pretty bad the last month, and last couple days have been a lot better though. So, and it's because I had something happen, that made me kind of like get upset over the last I've been working really hard at the gym for like 5.5 months straight, and like I got told something that like just ruined all my happiness of all that hard work, and I was like, what was the point of all of it? And then it went down a bigger spiral because then I was like, oh, I don't have a job now. Like, what is my life? And all that hard work I just put into the gym, and now that I don't have a job, when I could just have one and said fuck it, it's whatever. But then I realized that doesn't make my worries, So it was one of those things where yeah, I had like just all over the place emotions were, and luckily, okay, can I leave now? Oh no, that's just the back. That's just the vegetable garden going to. Okay, I messed up. I messed up. We're supposed to go out here, I think. Are we supposed to talk to them? I don't know. I wasn't reading. I can't even read it. But yeah. So I just had some problems with some people in my life and what have you, and a few other things, and just a lot of stuff happened. I lost like a lot of friends recently. Gained some, obviously. Found old ones again, such as you guys. And it's just a lot happened in a short time. So now I'm finally at the part where I'm feeling a bit better, and gonna start going back to the gym probably Monday, or maybe Monday or something. and I'll get back into that because I probably gained like fucking 15 pounds, no lie, in the last three weeks. Maybe not. I don't know how much I gained, but I gained a lot, and I was just starting to do good, and like my whole world came crashing down. So now that I'm like feeling a lot better, it's like that. Yeah, and the thing is that like one of the friends like they owed me a lot of money, and I gave them so much, and I never took from them really ever, and now that money is coming to call back because it was on a credit, and now I'm in a hard spot because of that. So is what it is what it is. And next month I'll get a job though. Yeah, my job's Aura Farming. Yeah, if only that was that simple for me. We're not all like Brian with his massive Transformer collection. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better now. I appreciate. I hope you've been doing good too. I'm all over the place right now because it's like I'm like it's late. I'm tired and I'm just getting used to getting back into streaming. And having two different chats is weird because how YouTube you can do portrait and horizontal. So I'm missing chats and I'm being dumb. But yeah, I'm doing a lot better. I have my moments at times where I'm like, what's the point? But the last 2 days have been a lot better, and yeah, I have a. I'll talk about some stuff in the future that I don't. Whoa, that I don't really want. I love how I have the Pokemon cries up all the way, except the music. So Randomly Loose Hair Pokemon fucking blare in my ear. I'm not sure if you can hear it because I'm not sure if it's going through the game, but it's going through my mic, and I'm like, this is horrible. I need to get a TV and a headset so fucking bad. Oh no, it just made me fucking pay off something I didn't want to pay off. Son of a bitch, $60 gone. Shit. Yeah, I'm about the same. I don't even really. I have very few in the sense like that. Like the last like 6 months, I've only really talked. I don't know how to put this. I'm kind of in a relationship with someone, and that's really the only people I've been talking to. Also, like my nephew and whatnot. And then, of course, I have a job of selling stuff online, so I talk to those people and keep up with them. But I mostly isolated myself to just that. And so yeah, we don't hear shiz. Okay, so yeah, you're not hearing the random ass fucking screaming in my ear. I'll fix it when the new game comes out. They'll have the audio when the new game comes out. But so with that being said, I kind of neglected everyone on like my Pokemon channels, my YouTube channels, all that type of stuff. TikTok and whatnot, and I've only focused on myself. And I hung out with one friend that I've known for 20 some years. So I'm not like I don't like I'm like he's still like my friend, but there's times where I'm like, are we really friends? Because like he prioritizes everyone else except for me, genuine care for me. It's whatever. So with all that being said, um, I'm always been a person that had like very few friends, but had tons of people that have always like wanted to be my friends and liked me type of thing. And I would say the people that I talk to, even if it's only like a couple times, like Brian, I'd say he's my friend, even though I haven't talked to him like a year or two, not because I don't want to, I just don't. I'm just not a person to talk to people online. I just don't really think about it. But I think about him. I go on YouTube, I see him upload a video. I'll watch it and smile and think about him. I'll see him on Twitter posting Transformer stuff. And I'm like, hey, that's fucking Brian posting his damn Transformers. Why can't he like Dragon Ball Z? No, I don't think that because Dragon Ball Z is like it's good, but it's not like a type that you should get like obsessed with. Because Transformers has like a billion content. Dragon Ball Z has like 30 content, and it's like, why are we obsessed over an anime and a manga that only has such little content? Where Transformers is like a like universal, multiple different um, uh, contents timelines. But no, it's just funny. Okay, I think I gotta go talk to this bitch over here. Let's see. Belly sick is coming. I think it's month. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of those things where like I don't try to like I don't want people to think that I'm just coming back and just want people to like start talking to me because I'm making content. I want viewers. I neglected everyone. I've had my other channel, which I was like my 10 I am the cancer news, and then before that I was having a lot of health problems because of the cancer, which I didn't know about at the time, and I tanked that horribly, and that also got me really depressed. It made me think the last couple months that I could have been like someone that was getting like 100,000 views often on his content, and whatnot, making money. But then all that happened, so that kind of hit me a little hard, and yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, even like if I neglected like pretty much everyone, so I didn't want people like to think that I'm just talking to him again because I'm starting a stream. I want like people to watch me and all that type of shit. I just haven't done anything with anyone, and I've only talked to like one or two people because I just need to focus on myself and the few people I had in my life, because it's too hard to try to focus on tons of people and keep up with them when you can barely keep up with your own life, in the sense of like your happiness and whatnot. And there it is again, blowing my eardrum out with the fucking dinosaur noise. Excuse me. I love Attack on Titan. I think that's like everyone, like like either you hate it or you love it, or you just like watched season 1 or 2, and then once 3 came out, you're like, it's not that good. And then once 4 comes out, you're like, that's stupid. And it's like, dude, shut up. There's like 3 types of people. I personally love Attack on Titan. It's one that is like it's not like super complex, super deep, but it has like such good moments and such cool moments and such tragic moments, and that was horrible. It took like 10 years to release seasons, and it was a fucking mess. It's like, yeah, let's take 4 years. Let's take 10. It is crazy when like the thing is that like when I'm making a series with action figures, I want to make it kind of like a manga because I can't do stop motion. I don't have the patience. My back just doesn't work well with those type of movements. So, am I really gonna do my dude again? I kind of want to just do this dude again. I love him. I guess I'll do Meowscarada. Sprigito, whatever his name is. I never played with this one, so I guess I'll do it. I saw a fucked up video this other day on Twitter. That's all I'm gonna say. I saw a fucked up video of this on Twitter yesterday of this character, both these two characters. It was crazy. It was actually kind of crazy. But anyways, what was I fucking talking about? I forgot. Dude, I'm tired. Oh yeah, I'm making a series, and I think pictures and making it into like manga, so as comic is the only way I could really do something like that. And I suck at taking pictures to begin with, so it's something I'm gonna have to learn, which is gonna be brutal. But yeah, and I feel like with a lot of series, the problem they have is like rewatching a series. It's like kind of fun watching the person go from like being weak to strong. Like it's cool. Like watching Naruto, the first time it's cool seeing him go from like a little twerp to being the most strongest character. But going back and watching it, sometimes it's kind of boring. It's like that's kind of like why Boruto suffered so badly, because it just was like, oh, we're watching Naruto again, the beginning of the series, but we just got done with Naruto Shippuden, which had the most insane battles the last like 500 episodes of it. Now we have to watch freaking Naruto, the first season again, for like most of the episodes. That sucks. So with me, I want to make a series where like you don't have that feeling, where a good blend is having like your character and then the overall world have multiple powerful characters, and you'll see them interact with the world while that character is growing strong. Like for example, you saw like Kakashi versus Zabuza battle, but that was also kind of consequential compared to like 50 episodes later, 100 episodes later, when that was also Child's Play, and he was so weak, even though there was only like a barely any gap between that. So yeah, trying just straight up, he's just gonna get killed essentially. And what I mean by that is I have to move this. I'm gonna have it to where he starts off as a thief and a magician. He's like royalty. He's like a prince, the youngest prince of the kingdom. There's 14 or 15 brothers. Whoops, I gotta go to the court. And with that happening, do I go to the court or yeah, I go to the court. With that happening, he is the youngest, and all his brothers except for the strongest leave to go subjugate the demon realm. But little knowing to them, they get sent to hell essentially. Now, the demon realm and hell are two different places. They're not the same. Hell is hell. That is the end all, be all. That is your eternal suffering. That's where you're there forever type of situation, and you're not leaving there. So, we'll say there's 14 brothers, including the main character. So we'll say that 13 of them with the dad leave to go to the demon realm, which is supposed to be like a 10-year process. And you were born right as he left. So essentially, you never met your dad or your other brothers. You only met your strongest brother during that time. And it's going to be essentially, he kind of trains you, but since you didn't have a father figure, you're kind of like, not a scumbag, but you're just kind of like wild and place and yell at you and scold you. They just kind of get upset and say, oh, well, it is what it is. Boys will be boys. So you become like a rapscallion. You become like, a thief. Even though you're a prince that lives in like the most rich kingdom. And it's like one of those kind of like scumbag ones where he steals from the poor and gives to the rich. But then he comes back as the prince and be like, hey, you can't take that poor person's money. So it's like he's like does like a double front, and it's not because he's trying to be a good person. It's because he thinks it's funny, the fact that he stole from the poor to give to the rich, then came back under a different identity and saved the day. But it's not because he wants the attention of that. I just think that he thinks it's silly. So I'm gonna do something like that where it's just ridiculous, and but with that happening, since the father's gone. He's now about 9 years old, 8 years old, something like that. We're going to have him. And the hell instead of the demon. And then a week passes. And then also out of nowhere, a demon realm portal opens and starts leaking out. Obviously demons, other such things, other like monsters of the realm. And they descend onto the castle and destroy the castle. And your main character, the main character there, he sees everyone that he's loved, his mom, his brother, all that, get destroyed, and he's only left alone. But with that happening, the demon that ran the charge of the attack on the castle, he puts a curse on you to where you can never die, essentially, because that's kind of a stupid thing. There's drawback, and but so just like you get like your head, all his setbacks, he'll always come back. He won't be able to beat, and he'll just get destroyed. And a thief, but then he unlocks necromancy on accident, and because he goes into this when he's like running away, because he kind of gets caught stealing one day when he's running away. Within this cave is like the Necronomicon type of situation, and it gives him the power of necromancy. And he doesn't know about it. He passes out. He throws up a whole bunch of blood, passes out, wakes up, goes, what the hell? And he goes home that day, and he does something like he hits the ground over a grave, and then up comes, it's like the grave of his pet. Up comes this skeleton of like a dog, and it's like, what the fuck? And he thinks he's getting attacked from a skeleton. Like, there must be zombies or skeletons in this area. And right when that happens, the brother's going to come in and destroy the dog, the skeleton dog. And that's when he's going to inform him, hey, look there's the kingdom's under attack. We got to get back. And that's what rolls the story forward, essentially. But, yeah, so that how you been? So yeah, I have like that planned out. I want to have like multiple stories going on. One that is like a character that's really mysterious. He only comes up like every like 10 chapters, and it's like he seems like a sick, messed up character, like torturing people and whatnot. But really, there's the series I want to make, and yeah, doing good. Okay, glad to hear. Like I think I want to start it off the series with you see a city covered in like a miasmic plague type look to it, so like purple clouds, like broken down buildings, and just like a dirty city, rats running around. And then it goes to a house, and it slowly goes to the corridors, and you see like bodies hung up, stripped of flesh, tortured and whatnot, just like a nasty scenery. And you hear like moans and cries of like tortured souls. And then it shows a guy just standing at a table chopping up someone, and it looks like he's doing tests and whatnot, and you're like, what the hell's going on with this? And then it flashes to the beginning of the story on a bear, and they're trying to hunt a bear. Because one of his goals, his whole life was to hunt a bear. He's like, if you slay a bear in the kingdom, you're known as like the best. Like you're known as like an amazing hunter. You're powerful. You have strength, and you get pretty much like attention, and you get like people's respect essentially. His life, you know. So with that being said, they're in the middle of trying to kill the bear. You know, like they're about to hunt it, and right as they're about to take a shot, either I'm gonna have like another giant bear jump into frame that is like humanoid almost and attack them, and or I'm gonna have them hit the bear, and then that giant bear comes and tries to finish him off. Now the thing is, since he's a sorcerer, I'm gonna have him transform his dog into a giant bear owl to help defend him. But in the process of all that happening, the dog gets felted and passes away, thus being buried into the graveyard, bringing up that rised up from the grave that he was at. And I don't know what I gotta do. I don't know where I gotta go. I haven't played this forever. I haven't played this game forever. I just threw it in my mouth. That's not good. Is Eevee in the new Pokemon game? I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was a shiny for a second, but it's just that little Pokemon with the web around his back, little spider Pokemon. I thought it was a shiny pig dude, Lechonk. I know. I hate tutorials in Pokemon. We're at the point where like everyone's played Pokemon. We know how to play the game. I'm sick of them trying to baby me. So annoying. So annoying. Okay. Do we have to cap it? I don't remember. Oh, it's my brother. My kid. I hear someone talking. I believe it's my brother upstairs talking. I'll throw a Pokemon. Oh shit! No, I'll throw a Pokeball. I guess I could push a different button. It would have been. Is it the Y button? Yeah. I believe Eevee should be since Sylveon was introduced in Gen 6. Yeah. He probably will. I haven't been following almost anything up until the last couple days. I started looking into some stuff. But I don't really follow anything. I think it'll be fun. But I think it's going to be like every other Pokemon game where it fumbles, shiny hunting. And the big thing is that if there's not like a sewer system in this game, I'm going to be so angry. Like, how are you going to have a city as the only place you can explore and not have a sewer system? Like, that's chose that Pokemon before, so I thought, yeah, I'll try it. Now, the problem I'm going to run into is that I can't really see that well. Whoops. I can't really see that well. The Pokemon. Because the screen's tiny. It's like the size of like a Switch. And you can see how kind of far I am. Oops. Okay, there we go. I gotta see if I can fix this. Did you hear anything I was talking about earlier before you said you were lurking, Andrea? Oh shit, I'm about to get killed, bro. I'm gonna catch this Pokemon though. I know that they data mined a lot of stuff. They're bringing back, you know, the fancy Pokeballs, like the Moonball type shit, like apricot type balls, I believe. So that's kind of cool. The thing I hate is how they make like fucking Pokeballs seem so rare. Let's see. I'm doing a shiny only run while I beat it. I had shiny Lechonk and I missed it. Oh, dude, that sucks. No, it wasn't my question. It was I was talking about a story I'm making. I wasn't sure if you were here to hear it at all. Because I didn't know that you left until I started talking about it, so I just kept yapping and I'm like, oh, they didn't even hear about it. It's a story I'm making for with my action figures and make it like a manga. I told you about it before, but I didn't really go into detail. I didn't really go into detail with it. Dude, they got fucked up. My kitty cat got fucked, bro. My cat got fucked up. I better go. Does your mom heal you, I think? I think that mom will heal you. I think they confirmed that there will be, ooh, my fucking foot hurts. Ooh, my toe. I gotta crack my foot. I cut my foot really bad the other day. It sucked, dude. It's kind of hurts still. Oh, this is not my home, right? No, that's not my home, right? My home's at the top over there. Doi. Dude, I was just playing Fire Emblem. You push B to fucking run. It's so annoying. I keep sliding. I just got back. Should I tell you the story? Because I don't know if it's gonna be boring for people to hear again. I'll tell you because there's no one here anyways. So I plan on making a story that's kind of like a manga / comic series using action figures, using them as the backgrounds. And so that being said, I want to make it to where it starts off medieval adventure type of story. So to like make it clear, he's like he's a prince to a king, and he has 14 other brothers. And the type of family they have is they kind of like they're like one of like the holy families of like the whole like world that they live in. They're ones that go all the way back to like the last they could record. They can't really like like you go back and you try to find any other families. There's no other families through history that has like a lasting name like they do, and that one that's connected to the world's religion or one of the world's religion. So, with that being said, he's a prince. He has 14 brothers. He has a mom. They all have the same mom. All have the same dad. And that family, they had to go on demon subjugations every 100 years. And it just so happens they're in the time where the dad has to go do demon subjugation with 13 of the 15 sons he has, which is the kid that's you're going to be following. And since that happens, you never meet your dad because he's out in the subjugation. He doesn't. So he's supposed to come back, and you're getting ready to eventually see him again. And that's like the idea of the story. I didn't really want to spoil it, but I think I'm just going to. I already have, but I think like it's better just to kind of like explain it rather than have like it kind of hooks people in. Dude, what the fuck? Oh, and essentially what happened is he instead of going to subjugate the demon realm, they get sent to hell. And hell is hell. That's like the end all be all. That's where people die. You don't escape hell. And no one's ever been sent to hell that's alive, essentially. That we know of. I mean, maybe there has been through time. Because this family goes back. And the only people left in the kingdom is pretty much you, the garrison. So maybe like a couple hundred troops. And your brother, who is very powerful. He's one of like the higher upper level people of the world. He is very powerful. That's why they left him there. He could have been more helpful, you would say, but also what happens if something happens when they're gone for the 10 years they're supposed to be at the subjugation. So he gets sent there. He doesn't get sent there. He gets sent to watch the kingdom. And that's like the idea of the base of the first couple chapters. Now, how it starts is I'm going to have it to where there's kind of like that city's overrun with like some type of plague. It looks like it's just falling apart in shambles. And this was like supposedly one of like the well-known cities of the world. And it was probably on the outskirts. Oh shoot, there's a whole bunch of dudes right here. Probably on the outskirts of I'm versing Fletchling. He has fire type. You get closer and you see like the streets are run with like rats and whatnot. There's plague everywhere. It's a disgusting like hellhole essentially. Like who the hell's living at this place? Well, what's happening is it then goes into a house and you start seeing like a kind of like an odor smell, and you start seeing like blood splatters and like decay and like mold, and then you start seeing like bodies hanging from like the ceiling, hanging from the walls, tortured, skin ripped off, just disgusting sight. And as you get close story, and then it goes straight into the main character, which is a boy who's like 8 or 9 years old, sitting on a a branch up on a tree talking to someone. And you look over, he's talking to a dog, and they're just having their conversation. The dog's doesn't speak, so he's just kind of sitting there but he kind of understands what's going on. And he goes, "Today's finally the day. We're gonna nab us a bear, because in this country that they live in, if you kill a bear by hunting it, you're known as being strong, because bears are powerful. They're massive. This is like a grizzly bear." So his whole dream was to get the notoriety and the fame and the mom, but the mom coddles him and loves him and teaches him earned respect. So he wants to take down a bear. And keep in mind he's only 8 or 9, and he's a magician thief class. And so he's not really equipped, but he's not that guy. I'm not that guy. But he did learn a spell to transform his dog into an owl bear, kind of like from the Dungeons and Dragons movie, because I have that figure. I'm going to use that as one of the props. Is that he can turn his thing into an instrument from his bow and arrow. He'll be totally fine. Like, he'll be able to take it down. So with that happening, he's right about to do it, and then there's a rustling in the bush, and a giant bear that's almost humanoid-like, very powerful, very muscular. I have it over there on the shelf. I can't get it. Comes out and just attacks him. And oh, dude, he's fucking up my whatever the hell thing is. Oh, 1 second. My aunt pre-ordered the game when I checked the Walmart website in the beginning. So she can do it through a different place. Sorry to hear that, Angel Rose. Hopefully they can get it sorted on my Australia account, so I can get it like a day early. But I hope it gets sorted, because you do get, I think, pre-order bonuses, right? And you kind of want the pre-order bonuses. So going back to the explanation of the story. Sorry, you can keep commenting. I'm just trying to explain something to people right now that I'm working on. Dude, I keep getting my Pokemon fucked up. I got heal. I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm talking about my story. So Razzy's about to take down the bear, hopefully. This giant bear comes out of nowhere, hits their tree, and they get launched out of it. And this thing is, he's like an M-boss type character of the forest. This is like, where the hell did this come from? And we'll learn about that later on in the story. We'll come back and you'll eventually see it. I'm still thinking if I want to be like a person that transforms and he protects the forest. I really don't know. I have like a lot of ideas for it. Dude, that's so loud. I hate the audio. You guys can't hear it, but I can. It's just crying Pokemon constantly. And so with that happening, he then uses his transformation, and it's just like, oh, that sucks. It's over. So his dog that he's had his whole life since he was born, and you don't know much about him, but you can tell that's an emotional impact. And he passes away. That he just barely escapes the bear, and he goes and buries it in one of the villages near him, not on the kingdom's castle, because he doesn't want it to be like, that's almost like, it seems like it's almost too formal and almost too like people will think less of the family caring so much about a dog. So I'm stream buffering a lot for everyone. I don't know. Maybe try going to the other stream Mind Bro and see if that works better. Since there's 2 streams up, maybe portraits just have, if that makes sense. Because royalty should be caring about the people more so than an animal. Before that, that's kind of like how it's seen sometimes. So yeah, buffers a lot, huh? It might just be my internet. I apologize. So I'll try to fix it soon. I have a Yungoos fur. So he gets home, he bears mischief, and since he never had it, he tends to try to seek chaos and whatnot, so he can have some funny attention and keep him so he's not bored, and kind of take off the book, steal from the, and then reprimand the rich people they didn't steal, but he was giving them that, and then be like, hey, you stole this money from these poor villagers. He doesn't do that because he wants to be a better person and feel better, like trying to save the poor. It's more so he thinks it's funny that he could do something that silly, and it leads him to just doing a bunch of crazy dumb shenanigans, to where it's like a reverse Robin Hood, but also not. It's a very silly situation, and he likes to just cause mayhem in the city. So one day he's getting chased out because they finally the guards we're sick of this. We finally found out who has been doing all these weird things. And so he falls through the top of a cave and lands right in the center on his back. And normally that'd paralyze someone, but he goes, grabs a book, and then in the background, all of the he's not seen it, but you can see there's tons of skeletons on the walls. There's tons of weird ornate, kind of And so as he grabs the book, like a spirit launches inside him, and he starts throwing up blood, and he's like, "Oh my god, am I gonna die?" And then he, like one of like the final resting places of like one of the most powerful necromancers and one of the most evil ones of the world, and the essence and the aura of him went inside the main character now, and has given him the ability of necromancy. And he has very particular necromancy. Whoops. As long as he is the final blow on an enemy, and he will be able to he'll be able to summon that through resurrection, that type of enemy. So, if, for example, when he's in the I'll get to in a second because it's moving the stand. He can summon other things, but not like so. Like for example, after that, excuse me, I just threw my mouth. That was horrible. It's visit his dog, and with that happening, he gets angry and slams his fist on the ground, which then activates his necromancy skill and launches it down. Because the way that necromancy is going to work in here, you can only bring things force within that ratio your necromancy to summon something. But there's ways around that. I'm gonna later on have it to where he gets a chest that can walk and opens up, and it will keep all his bones that he's collect that he can summon on demand. But the idea is that he can't just be OP and summon anything, because not everything's gonna be something there, and he can only really summon if those things are there, particular outside of his chest type of thing, so even if he ends up having the ability to summon something, if it's not within his range, he won't be able to bring it forth. So, with that being said, small things like an animal, stuff like that, that's child's play. So when he punches the ground, it activates. His dog, now a skeleton, jumps forth, and he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know he's a necromancer. And he goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm being attacked!" And his brother comes in and swings his sword down, destroying the dog. Him not knowing that's his dog. Sad that happens. He got his dog killed twice. He ends up his brother grabs there's something going on in the kingdom back at the palace. So they start going back, and on the way back they start seeing all these towns are silent, but they don't have time to stop at them. But when it pans over, you're gonna see that there's tons like dead bodies and all this type of stuff. And essentially, it's been a massive kingdom raid since their main force is not home, and all the brothers and dad aren't there to protect it. This is almost 10 years later. They're supposed to be back by now, but for some reason they haven't. That's because they're in hell. They're not in the demon realm, and we don't know if they're all dead or something. We don't know what's going on. But the idea is that now they had 10 years to amass a giant army from all these different creatures, all these different monsters, all these different regions, to now come and destroy the holy kingdom of this, of your main character. Because as I said, it goes back thousands of years. So they've been planning for a long time to pretty much knock this kingdom out. And since this is a holy kingdom, whole invasion going on as you get home, and your mom, she's like, "Hey, come, the guards have held off for so long." And that's when you finally get there, it gets really bad, and everything's going down. 9 years old, you can't really do too much. Some basics. You're better than most 9-year-olds. Obviously, you're possibly better than some guards even. But you're not on the level of a lizard man. He's just a thief, which leads into assassination class. And he gets that ability to summon the lizard man, and which even though there's a lot of dead bodies around, and it becomes really powerful for him. So protects him during that time going on. And since that was such a huge power draw, he's weakened from that because we'll say for example a lizard man's probably level 60, and he's level 20 would say. And trying to, since he's royalty and all that type of stuff, there's gonna be more to play in the long scheme of things. But so that being said, the kingdom's falling, and she uses some final magic. She's a cleric. She's like a high priest type lady. She's knows holy magic, so she puts a casting spell on you, and whatever gets cast at you magic wise or attack wise, it gets deflected back at the user. So once she gets executed right in front of you, she casts that spell. You're saved from the possible incoming doom. So what ends up happening is that your brother now facing just a huge legion. There's no way he can win. He gets executed. But your mom put up a barrier on people. Gotta leave. You can't just be on Earth for so long, because the news is gonna spread. Then everyone will mobilize. Every kingdom around will mobilize. So the big boss, you can't kill you, but you're like a key component that's going to be in like the grand scheme of this, curse. And pretty much that protection your mom gives you, he inverts it. It makes it to where you can never die essentially, but you'll live when the time comes, he'll be able to use you at any moment if he like inflicts enough like chance that you should have died. It's a lot more complex than what I'm saying because I don't want to spoil anything. But the idea is that the more deaths you have through time that you come back from, the more potent. Like, boom, I cursed you, and you don't even know you're cursed. All you know is that you get your chopped off, and within like 20 minutes, it'll eventually come back, and you'll be like, alive again, but you won't know why. So, I set it up to where like, living through like events where maybe they verse like a level 100 fucking demon lord and they didn't suspect, and he grew like a whole bunch of his friends came with them and they all died, and now he has survivor's guilt because he didn't die. That demon left because he thought he got everyone with the totality of like being friends with people and trusting them, and then they're all dead and now he has no one. And so there's this opening, but I didn't because I was yapping. So it's pretty much going to be like this large thing of him trying to get revenge on the demon realm, and then later on he learns that it was actually hell hell played into this, and so I'm interested to see how I'll do it. The idea is I want to have him grow with all these interactions, and I think that he's gonna lose more than he wins most of the time, and that will lead him into learning how to be better and whatnot, because no one has the chance to after they get killed to come back to life again. It's not like it ends up going a lot larger in scale to where it's going to realize the effects of the world as it goes. And since no one's here, because I don't know if this will ever be big enough to where people are kind of worrying when's the next chapter going to come out, full to the guy in the sense of he has control over him or something like that. It's more so it's slowly putting resentment and bitterness and a loss of hope into him, because he's actually one of the chosen people that will be able to end the demon realm and the almost hell in some regard. To do that is by crushing his soul. And the idea is that every time he gets hurt, people in his direct vicinity that are his friends that like him and he likes them, they will get hurt almost in the same way to be able to heal him. So for example, if he breaks his arm, someone within we'll say 100 miles of him that he's friends with will break their arm and he'll heal his arm. And he doesn't know this because they're so far away. How would he and it's gonna be in a ways they fell off a roof when just got hit by a buggy or something, like a horse and carriage ran over the person. If he dies, in a dungeon or something. And these deaths are going to compound him because they're his friends. It's this is tragedy in the world. It's not him directly doing that. It's just a tragedy. That's not all that concept of it. And everyone that he's ever known and cared for, they're all going to die within this time span of the midway point, and that's going to change him. That's his goal is to hollow him out to where he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about saving the world. He just wants to get revenge, because the idea of the story is that the rapture happened, we'll say our time. The rapture, the rapture was supposed to happen. I had this already planned before the whole rapture meme happened. But the rapture happens, and a new world happens from it. All the people that didn't believe in God, Jesus, stuff like that, they get left behind, as it says. But one family, one group of people, one church said, look, we're not going to leave these people to defend demons for themselves. We have to be there to hopefully shepherd them in to be better people and hopefully make a better world from it, because the devil runs the world now. That's the idea of the rapture, is that people get left behind and they have to pay for the consequences of it. But some people that were holier than thou said, you know what, we're going to stay here, let us stay here, God, so we can show them that you can be redeemed. So with that happening, our world ceases to exist essentially. Demons come, the rapture happens, and they build the first church, the people that did stay, that were that believe in it, and they lay the foundations to restore the world. And God realizes, okay, well, there's still hope in people if you show that the sacrifices people make are selfless. So with all this happening, it's gonna go back to this is actually our world, just 20,000 years in the future type shit, and technology was pretty much erased, and Yeah, so there's no like advanced technology or nothing like we have nowadays. No AI and shit like that. It's just swords, and there's some magic. I mean, there's some like type of technology, but it's not like nothing complex like that. So that's like the whole idea at the beginning of the story, and like kind of like where it's going and what's going to be happening, and be able to see this person grow. And then the big plot twist is that he's actually been killing everyone he's ever liked and loved, um, uh, and making it to where he just kind of like he becomes like a shell of what he used to be. But he thought he was doing so good, because every time he gets closer and closer to doing something good, something horrible happens, and he sets him back. But he knows that, oh well, maybe if I just have faith, I'll be able to keep going. And then it leads to, wow, this whole entire time causality was making it to where I was just meant to lose no matter what. That I don't know. I'm still wondering like how the story will go. Also, I'm not paying I'm really just pushing the A button. I had more fun talking about something I want to make than playing this game that I was just spamming the A button in. But yeah, no, I think also that maybe they'll be on holy ground to where they can't be affected. Like Berserk has something similar where like if you're on like a fairy ground, spirits can't get you. So maybe there'll be something like that to where a few characters will be void from living because they're living on like the church. They're living in holy ground, and they can't be affected by a demon's curse, even though it's super potent, super powerful, regardless. Um, uh, yeah, and I have like a lot of like creatures of the day type stories I want to do, where I have like an idea of making a succubus infiltrate a small town and go into the church there and take over. Like she's like, oh, I'm just a nun, and then she takes over the priest, because there's succubus. They use their temptations and have it to where she can control puppets, and she uses like mana strings to control puppets, but she makes them to where it looks like normal like other nuns and whatnot, but secretly they're taking over all the minds of the men there, because lust is a very strong thing in the world, and that's one of the biggest things that drove people to Ruination. So I want to have it to where all the townsmen are getting controlled essentially by the succubus through their puppets. She doesn't even have to do anything. She just has puppets doing it. The guys don't realize what they're doing. They're just like puppets. They're marionettes. And with that happening, they end up taking all the women of the town and forcing them into hard labor and other such things, or just like sacrifice, stuff like that, like whatever needs to be done for the greater good of that succubus. Not being good in the sense, but you know what I mean. And so I have that idea planned out, and the adventurer will stumble upon that and try to figure out the mystery of like, why is it so weird? Why is every guy so happy and there's not many women? And when we do see women, they seem very like scared, or very like not too sure what's going on, and like kind of like almost in a trance. And you have to kind of like, he's gonna explore that, and try to find out the reason why this town is weird. And once you realize that, it all comes back to this weird church that is has lost communication with the other churches around there, and why is that, and is it making its own sect or whatnot. And then he stumbles upon the mannequin succubus, a queen, and I don't know how many succubus I'll have in that. I know I have 1, 2, I might have like 3. I might have like a group of 3 succubus, maybe 3 or 4, and then one being the one that can marionette tons of puppets. The other ones are kind of like lower level or have their own special abilities, and might have like one get away, so she can be like a recurring character that causes problems with and whatnot. But yeah, I love the idea of like fantasy, because you can just make so much. And oh geez, I have to battle this person. And then what I will have, he's so cute. He's a little dude. He's just a little guy. And then what I'll have is shoot. Also, is my audio still fine? Everything? I don't know if I'm even streaming anymore, because I don't know if it cut out. Shit. Fuck! I just dropped something. I'm double checking, because my internet might just be cutting out. I don't even know about it. Oh, I'm buffering too. Dang.